My cat has never had a cheat meal. I give it whiskers every day, biscuits, water, treats. No cheat meal. There's no chicken bones, there's no tuna, little strip loin or anything like that, any little beef, no chicken, none of this, right? She has whiskers, she has biscuits, she has water and treats. That is it, okay? This is how to never have a cheat meal. Because she ain't having all these things, and you would have thought like I had like put food down for her, and she sniffs it and she's like, nah, this is not what I'm used to, right? Because cats, like, they find their food, and then if it smells different or if it smells like off or anything like that, they don't go for it. But even the fact that it's different, it's away from the norm, she doesn't want it, right? So the way to never have a cheat meal is to just keep feeding yourself the same thing every single day. Like, the best thing you can do in order to have a perfect, like, meal that you have every single day that is like aligned with your macros, aligned with your micros as well, and it just gives you the right ratio of fats, proteins and carbs to get you to like get shredded, bulk, lose weight, etc., is just to eat the same meal, like the bland meal, every single day. Like, think about this, right? If you're that person, you have a banana for breakfast, then lunch, then like your mid-breakfast, you have like oats with honey and peanut butter and jam, and like a couple of raspberries, a couple of blueberries. Next, you have maybe like eggs Benedict with like toast, eggs, avocado, hollandaise sauce, salt, pepper, butter, all this stuff, right? Then for like a lunch, you have like a salad perhaps with kale, avocado, olives, onions, feta cheese, chicken, Caesar sauce, like croutons, right? Then for maybe dinner, you have, I don't know, a bowl of pasta, salmon pasta, for example, cream in that bitch, parmesan in that bitch, salt, pepper, chili, garlic, all these different flavors, right? The entire day is sprinkled with so much variety, right? Even after that, you may have some chocolate dessert or like a jam donut, or a cup of tea to wash it all down, and then you go to bed, right? Just think about like this, right? One, all that food, where the fuck did it come from? Because it didn't all just come from England or the country that you're living in. It came from all around the fucking world. This is only a recent time in history where we'll be able to do this, right? Way back, how in history, how we've been evolved to eat is like literally eat whatever your local area provides. That is like your diet, right? It's only recently that we have bananas come from St. Lucia, or avocados coming from Guatemala or wherever the fuck, right? This, like, what avocados don't grow in UK, bro. Like, I shouldn't actually be in the UK, to be fair. I'm Indian, so like that goes against something else, right? But going back to this whole thing, how to never actually have a cheat meal, right? You just lower the flavor. There's too much variety in the diet we have these days. Now, what I'm experimenting with, and it seems to be working, is I have a fairly like boring dinner, boring food the entire day actually. I wake up, I have a shot of two espressos to get me like going in the morning, and then I don't eat, so I intermittent fast till about 12ish on most days. At that point, I'll have rice and chicken that I've cooked in butter and tomatoes, and maybe like Cajun seasoning from Aldi. So I'll just sprinkle that. I make a massive pot of chicken with like 2 or 3 kilograms of chicken breast. I put 1 can of tomatoes in there, a big block of butter, or the quarter of a block of butter basically, and then chicken stock and or just water a lot of the time, and salt and pepper. No, Cajun season. That's it. Yeah. So Cajun season, tomatoes, chicken, and butter, right? And just some water, some stock to like thicken it to make it like a soup almost. And then I get all that 2 to 3 kg chicken, and then halfway through of it like boiling, I chop it up so it's all like shredded chicken almost, and then I put it back in there to get like rejuiced or re-energized or whatever. And then I make like rice, so I have 50 grams of rice every single day with like that chicken concoction, and I put that together, and then I just scoop it out every morning into a Tupperware, put it in a microwave, take that shit to work with me in like this thing I've got, this metal like food flask I have, and then I eat it from work like that. So it's very like, it's just meal prep, but like on like, if you look at actually what I'm eating, it looks like boring as chicken and rice with like a tomato sauce, like a tomato like base, right? Boring. And it doesn't like, it's not the most incredible meal in the world, if I'm totally honest. It tastes basic. It's got some flavor because it's got Cajun seasoning, so it tastes Cajun-y, whatever the fuck that means. But it's got some flavor to it, right? But it's not like overpowered with flavor like a chicken curry or chicken korma or chicken tikka or like rice and pea, no, not rice and pea, curry goat, or like pesto or like pasta, or all this like heavy flavorings, right? It's none of that. It's just like tomatoes, that's the main taste, and then like a little bit of Cajun, and then like a little bit of saltness from the butter, and then I have that with rice. So I yam that down. For dinner, I have 4 eggs and oats, and in my oats, I have like peanut butter, a couple blueberries and raspberries, and then honey, and that's it. And that is my dinner. That's my entire day, and it works out to about 2,000 calories. How I like portion it out, basically. I have like, yeah, quite a big portion of that chicken and rice, and that takes up most of my calories. But lowering the flavor is actually the gold in which I'm kind of like sharing in this video, because like I said with my cat, right, I've tried to introduce different foods, and like if from the jump I gave her like this tuna, salmon, steaks, chicken breast, turkey, X, Y, and Z, like all fresh stuff, right? She may have got a taste for it, who knows, and then she would always want that and never want the whiskers. Do you see what I mean? Like the whiskers, the pouch of food. I'm talking about the wet food, and biscuits and the treats that go with it. But she's only had like that for the longest, and then when I tried to introduce the new stuff, she wasn't down to have it. So let's put her back on the Whiskers stuff, right? But she has that same meal constantly, and you know, like people say, like humans say, oh, it's like eating dog food every day, it's like eating cat food every day. But for the cats, they actually want to eat that because they know it's the safest food. They get all their nutrients from it, and it's like, okay, cool, I've got this meal sorted, I'm gonna carry on my day type of thing. The same thing can be said with us, like humans, right? If you just lower the flavors that you're inputting in all this food that you're making, and you like really eat very, very basically, like rice, chicken, like I just said, I have eggs and oats for dinner. Like it's so basic. When you look at it, if I were to cook it all out, it just looks like, what? Why are you eating this? Right? But it hits all my macros, and it's just like, okay, cool. I did it for like a week, and I was like, actually, I could do it for another week. I got to the second week, I was like, I could probably do this for another week. I got to the third week, I was like, I could probably do this for the rest of my life. If I really wanted to, I probably could, because it's like, my palate has now become accustomed to this similar taste that I'm having, and it fills me up because of the quantity of food. I'm just like, yeah, and I know it's healthy, so it's good for my like psyche, my mental as well. I'm just like, oh yeah, it makes sense. Why would I why would I give any more thought to this process of like consuming? Whereas like, let's just say I didn't have this situation going on, and every single day, which is what I have done before, I will go like Sainsbury's, get hot counter chicken, for example, and then get that with like a little pasta pot or like couscous pot or some type of shit, right? And it's got feta in it, it's got like loads of different spices in it, loads of different things in it, and it tastes great, but it's like, again, like I said, all the different flavors from around the world in it, right? Then for dinner, I'd go somewhere, maybe pick up some food, or I cook some food, or I make like homemade Nando's chicken, for example, or whatever. It doesn't really matter, but a fuck ton of spices, a fuck ton of flavors in there too. And it's just like, there's too much going on. And then the next day, I may not fancy that Sainsbury's chicken, so I may go like McDonald's, or I may go Burger King or KFC or wherever, right? And then in the evening, I may not feel like cooking, so I may order Domino's, or I may feel like cooking that, I have to buy noodles, I have to buy now bean sprouts for noodles, garlic and soy sauce and oyster sauce and all this bullshit. Like all my money is gone on food, right? Whereas with this current diet I'm eating, I spend like the 2K pack of chicken is like 11 quid from Aldi. A can of tomatoes is like 49p. Cajun seasonings like 99p. And butter with like £2, right? £2.50 maybe. So I've got like 5 days worth of food for like less than 20 quid. and then I put the eggs on top of that. So let's just say 25 quid, and oats, I buy a pack of oats, and then like the little raspberry, you can get like frozen raspberry for like £1. So yeah, 25 quid all in, right? And the honey too. So it's not a massive amount of money, but so I'm saving there as well. I'm saving time because I don't have to think about it anymore. I know I'm getting all my calories and my macros are correct, like I've on MyFitnessPal, I've inputted everything correctly. I've put it all in and it's working out. I can sustain this diet because it doesn't have loads of flavor. I can just literally just shove it in my mouth and just be like, all right, cool, done for my lunch now. I'm stuffed. Let me wait for dinner, have my eggs and oats, cool, go bed. Do my exercise, go bed. And I can literally just repeat that forever if I wanted to. Maybe like, if I wanted to lay it down the line, I can introduce new things, but like very small amounts. But this is how you never cheat in your diet. One, you have a diet that satiates you, makes you full. Like the amount of chicken and rice I have is nuts, because when you see it, it's like, that's a lot of chicken and rice, especially for lunch. And like, I don't feel like, it's a lot of the time when I get back home, I don't even feel like eating my eggs and oats, but I just feel like I should eat it because it will hit my calories and stuff. So I have my eggs and oats at that point. But because because I intermittent fast to like 1-2ish a lot of the time, and then I eat by like 4-5 or 5-6 when I'm thinking about having dinner, I'm still actually quite full from lunch. So that's why 4 eggs and oats, it's quite a light dinner, so I can kind of get away with it. And then I eat that, and then I've kind of like rounded up to about 2,000 calories. I think it's actually more than that, 2,000, like 300, something like that, when I put all the butter and stuff like that in and stuff. But this is literally what you could do just to like never have a cheat meal again. Obviously, this is not like a hard and fast rule. You can have days when you like indulge, and if you go into a family event, you want to have cake or some shit. Do what you want, it's your life, right? But I'm saying like 80 to 90% of the time, when you're like on that Monday to Friday grind, or let's just say you do have an active social life on Friday and Saturday nights, for example, but Sunday to Thursday, and even Friday during the day, you're good. You can like, that's 90% of your week. You can bang out and have that good food and not cheat on your diet. And maybe once a week you have like a little splurge with your friends or whatever. But even still, on those splurges, you can get the chicken breast, you can get the chicken thigh, you can get the like fairly healthy options wherever you go these days. And like the basic stuff, like Nando's, for example, you get just chicken legs or whatever. To be honest, anywhere, you can just get chicken breast anywhere, right? So it's all like, you can make it work. It's just a matter of like figuring it out, to be honest. And what I said, when you lower the flavor, it's just better. You get more consistency. Eventually, like, you'll crave this bland diet because it's just like, it's hitting everything you need. You feel satiated, you feel full, you know mentally it's good for you. Like, you feel light, you don't feel like sluggish after the meal because the meal is fairly nutritious and it's like not riddled with like bad stuff that's going to make you crash afterwards, like sugars and stuff. It's just all healthy, natural food, right? So you will eventually crave that and you feel great afterwards. And yeah, a little thing to recap this is like, the more variety you have, the more variety you will want. So when you have this massive diet with like loads of different things in it, the next day, like I said, that massive list of things, right? The next day, you're not going to feel like having that anymore because you've had all of them things, but you, like your stomach, your brain's still wanting new things. So the next day you're going to have, instead of a banana for breakfast, you want watermelon for breakfast. Like this, like instead of, eggs Benedict, you want a full English fry up, sausage, eggs, bacon, beans, like everything, right? Your palate will change because you're having so much input, so much variety. You get accustomed to that. Whereas if you get accustomed to the blandness, to the plainness, to the boringness of it all, to the mundaneness of it all, but you will get accustomed to it, and you'll be like you can have these splurges every now and then, but because you know it's good for you mentally, you'll want to keep this up as well. And because you feel full all the time, you'll want to keep it up, and it'll be easy to keep it up. So that is how you can literally never cheat on your diet ever again.